Daf Yomi, Tractate Bava Batra, page 58a. Top of the page with the words Lemedura, Okederos, Makifos, Osa. The ignoramus is compared to a bonfire, where the fire is in the center and pots surround it. Similarly, the table of an ignoramus is arranged with the food in the center and is surrounded by plates. Okay, whatever that means. Next up, Amita shel Talmidei Chachamim. Rabbi Yochanan asked, how should the bed of Torah scholars be kept? Ketzad. Kol she'ein tachtea ela sandalin b'mos hachama, u'mina'alin b'mos hageshamim, v'shel am ha'aretz dome le'otzar balus. Okay, so the question was asked, how should the bed of Torah scholars be kept? He replied, it is acceptable as long as there is nothing underneath, there is nothing except for sandals beneath it during the summer, and shoes beneath it during the rainy season, in the winter. And the bed of an ignoramus is similar to a cluttered storehouse, and he keeps a wide array of items beneath it. Rabbi Bana'a haveka metzayan ma'arasa ki meta lemarta da Abraham ashkache leEliezer eved Abraham dekai kamei bacha Amar le Maika avid Abraham Amar le gane bekanfa desara kama aina le bereshe. Having mentioned Rabbi Bana'a, the Gemara relates an incident in which he was involved. Rabbi Bana'a was marking burial caves for the purpose of helping to prevent the contracting of ritual impurity. When he arrived at the cave of Abraham, in other words, the cave of Machpelah, he encountered Eliezer, the servant of Abraham, who was standing before the entrance. Rabbi Bana'a said to him, what is Abraham doing at this moment? Eliezer said to him, he is lying in the arms of Sarah, and she is examining his head. Amarle zil male Bana'a ka'abava. Amarle le'ul. Meida yadia di Eitzer Bahai Al Maleka Ayal Ayan Unafak. Rabbi Bana'a said to him, go tell him that Bana'a is standing at the entrance so that he should assume an appropriate position to receive a visitor. Eliezer said to him, let him, Rabbi Bana'a, enter, since it is known that there is no evil inclination in this higher world, so it is not inappropriate for Rabbi Bana'a to see Abraham and Sarah in this position. He entered, examined the cave in order to measure it, and exited. When he arrived, Kimata Lamarta de Adam Rishon, when he arrived at the cave of Adam, the first man, who was buried in the same area, Yatsa Baskol V'Amra, a divine voice emerged and said, Nistakla b'demus diokni, b'diokni atzma al tistakel. You gazed upon the likeness of my image, meaning Abraham, who was similar to the image of Adam, the first man. Do not gaze upon my image itself. In other words, Adam, the first man, about whom the verse states that he was formed in the image of God. See Genesis 1:27. Rabbi Bana'a said, but I need to mark the cave. The voice said to him, as the measurements of the dimensions of the outer cave where Abraham is buried so are the measurements of the dimensions of the inner cave, where Adam is buried. The Gemara notes, and according to the one who says that the cave of Machpelah consists of 2 chambers, this one above that one, not 2 adjacent chambers. The voice said, as the measurements of the dimensions of the upper cave, where Abraham is buried, so are the measurements of the dimensions of the lower cave. Therefore, there is no need to measure it. I mean, this seems to fly in the face of, Loba Shemayim. I mean, they didn't listen to the Baskel over there. I guess here didn't contradict any Torah, so according to their idea. I don't know. Good question, right? Why do you determine the voice said Laman de Amar? Okay, so basically Ha'ena Liatsuni Marasa Kemidas Achitzona Kach Midas Hapenimis. Laman de Amar Shnei Batim Zo Limalam Zo Midas Elyona Kach Midas Atachtona. Okay, like we just said, the measurements of the upper like the lower, but this came from a Baskel, and I thought from other Gemaras that we don't determine matters of earth based on Baskels. Okay, Amar Rav Bana nistakalti b'shnei akivav v'domim l'shnei galgalei chama. Rabbi Benah says, I gazed at this, meaning Adam's 2 heels, and they shone so brightly that they're similar to 2 suns. Hakol b'fnei Sarah, kekof b'fnei Adam. Sarah b'fnei Chava, kekof b'fnei Adam. Chava b'fnei Adam, Kekof b'pnei Adam. Adam b'pnei Ashchina. Kekof b'pnei Adam. So he was commenting on comparing on what this looked like. Along these lines, the Gemara states that all the people compared to Sarah are like a monkey compared to a human. As Sarah was exceedingly beautiful, Sarah compared to Eve is like a monkey compared to a human. Eve compared to Adam is like a monkey compared to a human. And Adam compared to the divine presence is like a monkey compared to a human. Shufraya de Rav Kahana, Me'ein Shufraya de Rav. It was also stated that the beauty of Rav Kahana is a semblance of the beauty of Rav. Okay? Shufraya de Rav, Me'ein Shufraya de Rabbi Abahu. The beauty of Rav is a semblance of the beauty of Rabbi Abahu. Shufraya de Rabbi Abahu, Me'ein de Shufraya de Yaakov Avinu. The beauty of Rabbi Abahu is a semblance of the beauty of Jacob, our forefather. Shufraya de Yaakov Avinu, Me'ein Shufraya de Adam Rishon. The beauty of Jacob, our forefather, is a semblance of the beauty of Adam, the first man. Ahu Amgusha dehava chatet shachvei. On the topic of burial caves, the Gemara relates that there was a certain magus, Amgusha, who was rummaging through the graves of the dead. Someone who practiced magic. Amgusha dehava chatet shachvei. Kimata amarata de Rav Tovi bar Masna Tavshe Bedikne Asa Abaya Amarle B'matusa minach shavkei. Shana achriti hadarata hadar asa tavshe b'diknei asabaya lo shivkei ad di isi misapra v'gaze l'diknei. There's a certain magician, magus, sorcerer, whatever, who was rummaging through the graves of the dead to find some materials that he can perform magic with, bones or whatnot. When he arrived at the burial cave of Rav Tovi Bar Masna, Rav Tovi grabbed him by his beard and would not release him. Abaya came and said to Rav Tovi, I beg of you, release him. The magus came again in another year, and Rav Tovi grabbed him by the beard. Abaya came and requested that he release him. I don't get it. Is there a backstory here? Why would Abaya... What was the story? What was Abaya doing there? Abaya came and requested that he release him. But Rav Tovi did not release him until Abaya brought the scissors and cut his beard. Okay. Ahu d'amar lahu chavita de'afra l'chad berei chavita de'garme l'chad berei. The Gemara relates additional incidents involving Rabbi Benah. There was a certain individual who said, I'll read the whole Aramaic first and then I'll read the story. Okay, Ahu d'amar le chavita de'afra l'chad berei chavita de'garme l'chad berei chavita de'urda Chabre lo hayu yadi Mike Amarlu. Asul comment Rav Benah Amarluhu islahu ara Amarle in islahu chayvasa in islahu bistarke in Ihachi hachi kamarluhu. The Gemara relates additional incidents involving Rabbi Benah. There was a certain individual who said to his family before he died, a barrel of earth to one of my sons, a barrel of bones to one of my sons, and a barrel of wads of wool to one of my sons. They did not know what he was saying to them. They came before Rabbi Benah for guidance. Rabbi Benah said to them, do you have land that your father left as an inheritance? They said to him, yes. He asked, do you have livestock that your father left as an inheritance? They said, yes. He asked, do you have quilts that your father left as an inheritance? They said, yes. He said to them, if this is so, this is what he said to you. He meant that the bequeathing land to one son, livestock to the second, and quilts to the third. So earth is the land, bones would be the livestock, and wads of wool would be the quilts. Okay. Why he had to talk in so much code, I don't know, but anyway. Onward. Onward and upward. Ahu garv de sham de bitayu de baitu de ka amrin barta amailot sniata bisura ahach itisa asar beni Isle Velesla Meavuch Elachad Tishachiv Amar Lahu called Nechse Lachadra. There was a certain man who heard his wife saying to her daughter, why do you not act clandestinely when you engage in forbidden sexual intercourse? And why do you not act modestly or secretly or be more discreet, I guess. Why do you not act discreetly when you engage in forbidden sexual intercourse? The woman has, in other words, I have 10 sons, and I have only one from your father. and no one knows. So, too, you must be careful, so that no one will discover your illicit behavior. Having overheard that only one son was his, when that man was dying, he said to his family, all of my property is left to one son. Lo yadi lahai minayu. They did not know to which of them he intended to leave his property. Asul kamid rab bena'a. Rabbi Bena'a. It's interesting that Bena'a has a gematria value of 58. And this is Daf 58. It's interesting. Rabbi Bena'a for guidance, and he said to the sons, go strike your father's grave until he rises and reveals to you which of you left his property. They all went, but that one who was his son did not go. Rabbi Bena'a said to them, all of the property belongs to this son who did not go. The other brothers were angry. They went and slandered Rabbi Bena'a in the king's house. They said, there is one man among the Jews who removes money from people without witnesses and without any evidence. The king's guards brought Rabbi Bena'a and imprisoned him. Azla debaituhu. See, how's that pronounced? Oh, Azla debaisuhu. Amra lahu. Avdachad havili paskulaveshe. Upashtu lemashke. V'achlu bisre. V'kamalu be maya umashku be lachavraya. V'la ka yahiv yavili deme v'lo agre. The wife of Rabbi Bena'a went and said to the guards, I had one servant. They cut off his head and skinned him and ate his flesh, and they fill him with water and give their friends to drink from him, and they have not paid me his value, nor have they rented him. Is this code or something? I don't know what's going on with all this. Lo yadi mai ka'amr lahu. They did not know what she was saying to them. Amri naiso l'chakima lihudai. Let us bring the wise men of the Jews. Let him say what she meant. Naiso l'chakima de Yehudai. V'lema karui l'Rabbi Bana. Amr lahu zarnuka. Amr la amri hoil v'chakim kulihai litev abava v'nidon dina. They did not know what she was saying. They said, let us bring the wise men of the Jews, and let him say what she meant. They called Rabbi Bena'a, and he said to them, she spoke to you of a water skin, zarnuka. In other words, she was referring to a goat she owned that was slaughtered, its meat eaten, and its skin made into a water skin that could be filled with drinking water. They said, since he is so wise, let him sit at the gate where the judges congregate and render judgment. Chaza de haviksiv ba'avula. Kol dayan de miskri lidin loshmei dayan. Amar lahu elamiata asal inish me'alma. Rabbi Bena'a said that it was written upon the gate, any judge who is summoned to judgment is not considered a judge, as judges must be above reproach. Above reproach, he said to them, if that is so, then if a person comes from elsewhere